Welcome to BrotoGP. This is episode number 84. We are coming at you after the Thailand winter test for MotoGP, and I'm sorry it's been a while since you've seen me and Everett, but Kev, he gave you some good stuff last time out. This time around, we're going to talk about Yamaha's woes. We're going to talk about Ducati, their awesome electronics and winglets. We will definitely talk about Jorge Lorenzo. Stay tuned for this episode. We're going to make this one good.
Buenos Aires, motherfuckers! Alternate Kev in the house. Y'all want a little taste of him last episode. Now he's in all day, all night. Title of my sex tape. That's Rob. This is my Karoth. That's Ev. And this is my other cup of wine. And this is BrotoGP. And we's down to clown.
I don't know if I'm going to let Alternate Kev break all the rules this time. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh boy!
Alternate Kev does. Kev None does what Kev None wants.
Alternate
Kev None does. Kev None does who Kev None wants.
Alternate Kev got that upgrade on that glassware.
Chain boys in the house. Collars popped.
What's that swaggy shirt say?
On the Gucci glasses. The swaggy shirt says "I love cats and coffee." Un gato y café. We're ready to go. What do you say?
You got that at the flea market, dog. That's awesome.
Dog.
Goes along with comedians in cars.
Steps and rum, amigo.
All right, everyone. This podcast is brought to you by Riders Law. They're right behind me if you're watching the video. Of course, if you need any legal help, you're in the state of California, you ride a motorcycle and you get into an accident, please call Riders Law. Check out riderslaw.com. They help us out. They're helping me out with my motorcycle racing this season. They help out the entire community of motorcycle racers. So help us out, help yourself out, and give them a call. I can't promise that you'll get the wine, but they're awesome lawyers. So give them a call. Kev's, you're going to be doing this all freaking episode. You're going to be doing this all episode. It's going to be tough. But all right. Like I said in the intro, let's jump into one thing actually that I forgot to mention. Number one, first topic right now, motherfucking winglets. Kev, take us away on winglets.
Y'all going to talk about winglets like you don't know that Scott Redding got a full grill in his fucking mouth a week ago. Like he didn't show up on social media with his skinny fat bro who he makes carry around his bags like he's fucking Jeffrey in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and they both have fucking grills, straight up grills, rocking around like it's 2006 and they're No Limit soldiers hanging with Master P and No Limit Records. I mean, for reals, no one else thought that was weird? That he, like, Aprilia didn't think that was weird that he showed up like with full gold teeth. These guys are killing themselves to lose multiple ounces, and dude stuck one of the heaviest fucking metals there is and filled his whole fucking face with it.
You think he could afford a real gold grill? I did not expect you to jump into this. That's ballast. Boys. That's how he does. So he hangs off a little bit. He gets a little more weight out there with the head off the side.
A little more weight with the grill gleaming and streaming. That's what I'm saying.
Everett is not entertained by this conversation. He just doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck.
I like the grill.
You like the grill?
Yeah, for real.
I condone the grill.
Yeah, he condones it. Everett knows. Everett's about that life.
I tried to ask you guys about Riff Raff. You didn't know what's up, but you know,
exactly.
People can Google that and they can tell Kevin you about Riff Raff. That's cool.
Dick Nasty. What are you saying, dog?
Dirt Nasty. Yeah, he was in that group.
All right,
my
Kev.
Dick Nasty is what I was talking about.
Well,
Kev,
that's Rob's not sex tape.
No, we're not doing that one. Kev, you absolutely failed to talk about winglets. So Everett, I'm gonna throw it down to you. Get us started with winglets, will you? What did you like about the new ducks, the winglets, the winglets that we thought were going to go away?
Well, I really like how Suzuki is so methodical that they double imprinted their logo on the outside of the winglet and on the inside of the winglet, and then when you're looking through it, then in theory the bold new graphic should line up. But,
yo, dog, I heard you like Gixxer, so I put a Gixxer logo in your Gixxer on your Gixxer logo.
It's pretty much that. And then the other piece is Kev and I were going back and forth. I'm like, did they actually test this, or did they just fucking make winglets or nards or whatever, and they just fucking put it out there? We know they have wind tunnels, but did they really test this shit, or is it just
They
like
just staple
that
that
looks
shit on?
cool?
They just
Yeah,
stapling it on.
Yeah,
well,
we
but
can-
they can't though. They can't. That's the thing in the rules. They can't add shit, right? They can. The outer profile is set, so that is their like homologated fairing, and they can cut whatever they want off. So they start with that outer fairing. As long as they keep the outer, if they're gonna have winglets, totally legal. But they can cut off everything on the inside, and we saw that happen with Ducati last year. But I love it. I bring up winglets, and one dude talks about fucking gold teeth, and the other guy talks about liveries. God
Why are
damn
you
it.
gonna act like? Why are you gonna
Lavery.
act like Scott Redding getting
Livery.
full gold grill isn't the most important thing that happened in MotoGP this week?
Livery.
Look, nothing else that we couldn't predict happened. Let me sum this stupid fucking episode up into one thing. Marc Marquez was super fast. Oh my god! The Yamahas were good in some areas and bad in some areas, and no one really knows why. Like, that hasn't happened for the last 18 months. Johan Zarco's pretty fucking fast, but he's using an old bike, blah, 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 blah. We already know. We already know the whole fucking thing. What we don't know is why he got the grill, who he got the grill from, and how long that grill is going to last. We need to ask the hard-hitting questions, Rob. The fucking news that the people want. This isn't the fake news with the lap times and the rubbers and whatever. I mean, my news is always about the rubbers because unlike Yanone, I got to keep it safe. You know what I mean? Because I'm coming, this is some scandalous hoes in Kev None's past.
Kev, you're right. There's just so many questions. They're not answered.
Right.
What happened? Do you think the lamb got a grill?
The lamb got a fucking diaper, okay?
What?
That fucking lamb is hanging.
You didn't see that?
The lamb disappeared
No, I didn't
for
see
a
that.
second.
Oh,
The
is
it
lamb
back?
disappeared for a second, and we all thought that thing was like lamb tacos, dog. But then it showed back up, and it was running around with the dogs. And Chiara was in the bathroom shoveling shit like out of a thing, like a fucking 60s or 50s housewife, like 2 steps away from the cast of Mad Men. Meanwhile, Scott Redding and his boys are in the back wasting all their money on grills. She's shoveling shit in the corner and going, what in the fuck did I get myself into?
Wow. Wow, I can't believe we went there with this entire episode. Good job, alternate Kev.
So Rob, just so you know, what
I'm
happened was
just getting
Scott Redding had this fucking little lamb walking around his house, and it kept on pissing everywhere. And so he put a diaper on it, and then it was playing with his dogs. And he's like, so I bet all y'all is wondering what, like, hey, I got this diaper on my lammy, eh? And that's as good as I got. I need to drink more.
Scott Redding is
And
not
so then he's like, because
the
it keeps
hero that
pissing
we
everywhere.
need. He's the hero that we deserve.
Yes, clutch. So
Holy shit. Holy shit. All
We
right,
all
so
thought that Yanone was going to be the guy that saved us in the offseason. We all thought in the winter ban, when there's nothing to happen, or there's tests, and all the factory riders are just testing random shit. No one knows what's happening. We all thought, thank God for Yanone. There's going to be, like, gay porn happening, and random workouts with boners happening, and sluts left and sluts right. And we're thinking, like, he's going to get us through. And then, like, he went oddly quiet. It was like not a lot of stories.
He did.
There was no sweat. There was a lack of shirtlessness that, frankly, I found disturbing. All right.
Jorge
But,
took up the slack, which was bad. Jorge took up the slack.
Yes, and we'll get to the guys like Jorge and Alex Marquez lifting their like 8-pound weights. They take pictures of them doing shoulder presses with 8-pound weights like they're fucking moms. Why? Then you're one step away from the little pink and teal weights, bro. Like jazzercising Jorge when you're fucking faded ass stripe, the manic panic is all washed out, and you're lifting 10-pound shoulder presses, but you're doing like Arnold presses. No one's fucking impressed, bro. Like 13-year-old girls do that shit in gym class. Why are you posting pictures? I can give Alex Marquez credit. He's doing it, but he looks awkward as fuck. Like it's the first time he's ever lifted a weight in his whole life. And he's like, what do I do with my hands? But Jorge's been in and around, and he's like, yep, pounding out some curls. I got my 8.5s. It's good. Fucking dude is probably the guy that goes to the bowling alley with his bros because he doesn't hang out with any girls, and he gets the 8-pound pink bowling ball because he thinks winging it as hard as you can down the thing is the way you do it.
Well,
And
it's kinda fun.
what we talking about?
Just
kinda
insulting
fun.
his bowling skills too.
it is kind of fun. like the Talladega Nights reference. That's clutch. I did like playing with the little bowling balls just because it's fun. But real men throw 16s, so
That's what I'm saying. Real men throw 16s. That's real talk right there.
Maybe
It's real
15s.
talk.
If you're
You guys are nuts. All right,
15s if you got a mean hook. If you got a mean hook and you dance on the line, like the same line of fucking sexuality, if you just balance on that line and no one really knows which side it's going to go, it might stay in the lane, but that shit might go deep in the gutter.
My hook is so mean. I gotta use the 11.
Rob told me to keep this episode short. By the way, so I'm spending prodigious amounts of time talking about bowling.
Quick tangent, Kev, real quick.
Real quick,
my ass.
Big Lebowski. There's Jesus.
Real quick, my ass.
And he's got
title of that guy's sex tape.
There's Jesus has the bowling ball that has the flower in the glass bowling ball.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, no,
the flower in the glass bowling ball is the fucking one with Woody Harrelson.
You're right.
And fucking
Bill
Murray.
He has the skull, I think, or something. But who would play Jesus in Big Lebowski in the MotoGP grid? That's the question.
Me.
Whoa.
The curly
Jesus
hair.
fucking asshole on Sunday.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus, man.
Right.
I don't think that the Jesus man brings up topics that are on the no-go list. So we're gonna move on from there. Yeah, we're not breaking that many. We're not breaking that many rules this time. All right, so we don't want to talk about winglets.
No, I want to talk about
his ball like this.
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk about winglets because what I want to talk about is how everyone basically just released a Ducati.
Yes, thank God. You finally bring up a point that I wanted to talk about. They're exactly the same.
They're all the same.
Yeah, right. Even Suzuki, they had their curly mustache last year. Their new winglet system is just the box like Ducati. It's exactly the fucking same. So are they copying a design that's solid that we know works, or are they going down? They're just following a bike that they think is fast and they don't know how to make it work yet.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, my dog.
Oh, boy.
That is true. That is very true. But we know that in racing that doesn't always work. So that's what I want to know. Is it going to work out for HRC they weren't even really on the fence. They resisted winglets as long as they possibly could, and finally now produced a bike with much larger ducted winglets on the side.
I just love that, like, the original ideas of why the winglet should be banned. They were dangerous, right? They have these sharp edges everywhere. The guys are going to get hit by them. Like they're knives and not riveted on plastic, by the way. Pretty sure there's a winglet right around there in the background.
It's more down here.
Oh, okay.
It might be over there.
They're gonna, right?
Yeah.
And then they said they wanted to get rid of them because of it was too expensive. And what do we show up? Now we have like booby trap winglets, right? Like Everett said about Suzuki, that's like multi-layered. Like you could get your arm stuck in one, but you could also get it stuck and then through and then like back around, right?
You'll be fine.
Now, instead of just getting lacerated by one, you get a compound fracture in your tibia and your fibia because your leg went in one side, out the other, and got caught in the middle. They're literally more dangerous and more complicated. So let's stop with this farce and all these reasons why they got rid of them. Basically, they got rid of them because old guys didn't like them, because old guys don't like change.
I feel like, Kev, those are all great points. I agree. And I feel like I'm over here on second monitor looking through these pictures again, just refreshing my memory. And it's like that middle school science project where they tell you a set of rules and you can do whatever you want. And all the kids show up with like their like volcano. And then like every kid has a different volcano. And you're like, that one looks really good. And that one looks like shit. And that one, like, what the fuck were you thinking, right? I mean, You look at these winglets, the Yamaha ones compared to the others, and some of them just look like they're Tinker Toy like projects. It's like, are you factory race teams at the highest level of GP? And I can only imagine in 10 years when they look back at this, when they fully mature and evolve, they're gonna go, what the fuck were you all doing?
Like right now, what they're doing is we're looking back at like 2007 emo kids, and they've all got like black hair and fucking guy liner, and then we all look back like that, like, man, Dashboard Confessional was my shit, you know? And it's just like,
oh god,
no,
Panic
like
at
all
the Disco. dashboard.
Or even exactly. They're all loving Panic at the Disco.
Who's the other one that was really big? They were all on the O.
Taking Back
OC.
Sunday, dog. You know what I mean? They're just like, man, I'm so angsty. The world is so bad. I got a job.
These are terrible.
And
Yamahas look the worst.
The world is terrible.
You think the Yamahas look the worst?
Yes, they look like fucking. They look like this. Just
they're
tacos on.
They're an extension of the mustache that they had on the season before last.
No,
that's exactly what they are.
Which was the worst winglet there was.
Dude, I love the fucking mustache. I mean, it's a little fucking hipster. Like it's just I don't know.
Of all the things that I love, mustache rides are right up there. Right, I'm not hating on mustache rides. If more people mustache rode, the better the world would be. But those are the most tacked on, tacky looking. Like Everett was saying about Suzuki's. Suzuki's have like a lot of thought into the aesthetics. The paint is perfect. There's multiple slats in the logos.
Fins.
Yamahas look like they bought them from some shady ass shitty cycle gear in Stockton. You know what I mean? Like
I'm sure a Chinese company has already copied them and sold them for like the Yamaha R6 and whatnot to bolt that shit on there.
And Repsol Hondas look just so subtle. They're so fucking risk averse. They're like, whoa. We just won a championship. We don't need to do anything.
I mean, that's exactly.
We've had the same library for 29 years. Whoa.
Hey, apparently there's a little bit more white right now. There's a little more white in the library. They changed. They add a little white every year.
Only because Yamaha went with a lot more white, and they're like, well, shit, they went with a lot more white. We'll go with a little more white.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. They release it every year, and I hope for something different, but it never happens.
Repsol fucking lame.
Both of you two don't sound like old British journalists, guys, talking about the aesthetic of the winglets, right? And one of the main points from 2 years ago was we love the winglets because how gnarly and angsty they looked, right? The ones I like a big No, I'm not going to say that.
Yep.
No.
Finish that sentence, Rob. Go ahead, Everett. Shush. Rob, I live this. We're gonna work this out, Rob. We're gonna work. Set down. Talk to me. We're gonna talk about things that you've been thinking about since you were young. I like that
therapy session.
Big.
No, we're gonna go with just carbon fiber winglets, just jutting out into the air of those MotoGP bikes.
Tell me more about these things that you think about that are jutting out into the air.
I dug such a big hole in this one. All right, all right, moving on.
The title of his sex tape is just ... to intrigue the viewers.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know. The winglets. It's gonna be fun because they're in their infancy. It's the Wild West of winglets, and give it like I said, 10 years, and they're gonna be so much cooler looking. And these just look fucking disgustingly weird.
We can almost see the reflection of them in your glasses, Everett. Almost.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'm going to like them again this year. I will like seeing every bike on the grid with a gnarly set of winglets. I'm fine that they look similar, that they all look like the Ducati. I mean, Ducati, the nice thing about their development, right? They had the solid winglets last year. They actually took until Qatar to release them, or actually it was longer than that, right? Because they had the hammerhead fairing at the Qatar test, and then they ended up not racing it because it produced too much drag. The number one development that they've made for this season with their current aero setup is they wanted to reduce drag, and they said it works. They said that they've seen more top speed out of the bike, which I don't know how you can really see more top speed out of the bike when you're at a brand new track. But they'll but they'll be able to test it at Qatar and see if it actually produces less drag. I mean, I'm sure you asked about winglets or about wind tunnels earlier, Everett. Yeah. I'm sure that the factories both
the only
use
thing
wind
we
tunnels.
asked about, Rob, was your latent desires on large big things shutting into the air. ...
All right. Well, they have wind tunnels and they have CFD. If we see mid-season developments, they're definitely using computers to do the analysis and not running them through the wind tunnel. All right. Stroke it, Kev. Stroke it, Kev.
My final thought is, I think the one thing I don't know if I like it or don't like it, but the move away from the winglets that were fins with fins like in F1, and they're now consistent ducts, I'll call them. I think that's actually, I think for me, I think that's at least the safety direction. I like that instead of it being a jutting out fin that you fall and it hits something or something. Anyway.
Yeah, except for all that bullshit about like spearing someone in the back was just straight bullshit because one, it never happened. Two, or it did happen and no one got hurt. Two, they broke off easily, which we know that's not going to happen now. And three,
because they're anchored at like multiple points.
Yeah,
like on the fucking multiple axis, they're anchored.
And like 2 weeks ago in Supercross, we saw Ken Roczen get his arm sucked in between the wheel and the swing arm, and he broke a shit ton of bones in his hand. Right, something like that could happen to a rider that gets hit by another guy. Spoiler, it's 2 weeks ago. You'll be fine. You'll be
back in the day when I used to ride, me and my bros used to we took the brakes off our X100s.
We heard about the RM down story. The track. Hold on.
No, different horse story. I'm just saying. We took the XR100s, removed the fucking brakes, soaked on the track, and went a little nutty with them. And one time I fucking ate it, and my leg went in the fucking spokes. You know what I'm saying? Clank, clank. You know, and it didn't feel too good. The clack.
I'm glad that has never happened or that I can never remember in professional road racing because there's a lot more shit going on. We're a lot faster. Someone would lose a limb or whatever. Whoa, but all right, enough bad news.
That MotoGP bikes are way faster than me and my friends on XR100.
I would suspect the same.
That is fake news.
Way faster, okay?
All right, guys, we're moving on. Do you want to talk about Yamaha next or you want to talk about Jorge next?
Jorge?
Jorge. All right, Everett said it first. No, you said it first. We're talking about Jorge. All right. The funniest thing from this weekend for me is that Jorge was so unconfident about his motorcycle and about the development that he was doing that he had to steal a motorcycle from Danilo Petrucci for reference, and then he went slower on the bike that he stole. It's just fucking why do we
$12 million man, dog? That is money.
Where do you start with that? Where do I start?
Someone kick us off with that one, please.
This guy literally has 0 job prospects outside of Ducati for the foreseeable future. It's fucking amazing.
He's got the local go-kart track ready though.
Right? Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Like this guy. He was so hot to trot because he went super fast at Sepang and like broke the lap record on day 3. He was so fucking full of himself. And then, I mean, in true classic Jorge sense, he wins like quarter 1 of testing. And then he shows up at Thailand, a track that Rossi says is pretty easy but fun, and everyone says is like not a hard track, and this guy is slower than a fucking random Malaysian kid that's riding a MotoGP satellite bike for the very first time on a team he's never ridden with, on tires he's never ridden with, on a bike he's never ridden with. He's so like comically slow that I almost feel bad for him.
It's one of those,
but you don't.
Where do I start? Where do I start? It's like, dude, you're a multi-time world champion. You have such a lack of self-confidence, and you're showing it. Rule 1 is don't show it. Like, fucking don't show it. Bottle that shit up.
Don't play your cards,
cry in your
bro.
Fucking trailer. Fucking cry in your trailer, bro. Call in fucking, what's his name? Call in,
fucking King Kenny, man. Every time he's had a
trailer.
fucking problem, he's calling Kenny Robertson crying on his fucking shoulder.
Yeah, his name is Counselor Kenny now. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, do not show
Counselor
it.
Kenny.
Borrowing a fucking lesser, not even on your caliber rider's bike to go, and then to prove that you were right. I mean, it would have been one thing if he was fat, like, you know, I mean, if it had made sense, but it didn't even make sense. It's like, dude.
I mean, to be fair, he said he didn't put in a time attack on the 3rd day, so he never actually put in a time attack. Like went for a QP lap.
To be fair, he didn't try to go really fast. That's his number 1 fucking job. He's only got one job. Haven't you seen Ricky Bobby? I want to go fast.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you got to do. I want to go fast at the end of the day. Jack Miller has like 1 lap and that gets him 6th place, and everyone's fucking jizzing in their pants, right? You look at the lap charts, and only Pedrosa, Zarco, and Marquez have anything close to consistency at that pace. Mm-hmm. But Jack Miller does 1 lap at that pace. Cal does 2 laps at that pace, but crashes his brains out, and everyone's freaking out. And Jorge's like, well, I didn't try and put in a fast lap. Maybe you should have, dog, because fast laps are what you're trying to do all race long.
I try. I push, but the bike's no good.
No, he didn't even
Right.
push. He didn't even push. He told us that.
We heard no push.
I know
It was
the
worse.
push because the bike is not that good. I mean, every other Ducati rider is hella fast and super confident and faster than they were on every other bike. Fucking Tito Rabat was in the top 10, dog. Tito Rabat.
Dude,
I love how Jorge
That's because they
just
fired. What's his face? The fucking parts manager. Now he's getting the hookup. Now you can see them satellites step their game up, girl.
the parts
right.
manager. Who'd they fire?
Or the team man, the team dude. What's his face?
I thought that guy left from World Superbike. What are you talking about?
Allegedly, no, it wasn't a parts manager.
Allegedly.
What's the guy's name? Who was the head of Repsol, HRC, whatever?
Oh,
left.
yes, Livio Supo.
Oh, yeah, Supo
there was-
bailed. Bounce.
That's what I was told on the download, that he was fucking restricting shit to the satellites. Then when Honda found out, they were like, dude, you were doing what? And he was like, peace. And
Yeah, he got
Supo
pushed
out?
out. He got pushed out
Supo
in a way.
I mean, that's some nefarious shit right there, dude. Making sure his Spanish boys stay up on top.
All right, one more Jorge point that I have right here. So there was an interview in the After the Flag on the feed from Tardozzi, yes, of course I watch it. One of the Ducati team managers. He explicitly said that he blames Jorge's mental attitude and not the motorcycle for his lack of pace. So this is just Kev. You brought this up with Kevin Schwantz and Andre Iannone the other day. Like, Ducati has team managers throwing shade at Jorge, and that's not going to be a good look for both Jorge and for Ducati.
And they said he better expect a pay cut next year.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't read that. Are you serious?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
insane. That's insane.
Fucking like just on the outs. Like, what's up? Thumbing through Twitter. Hey, Ducati says Jorge ain't going to make as much money next year. Sweet, bro. No, man, like, that's not like, we give a lot of shit about Jorge, but like, look, if you have a rider who you know is capable of winning the world championship and you know is capable of beating your previous golden boy, he did beat Stoner head on for a title. He beat Valentino head on for a title. He beat Marquez head on for a title. As far as we know, right now, the only guy on the grid that's proven his ability to beat Marquez for the title, that's fucking Jorge. We know he's a little soft. We know he's a little fucking headspacey. And they're just talking shit straight up. Like, shit talking like it's no big thing. Just, yeah, it's not the motorcycle, it's him. Even if you think that, you can't throw that out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're the fucking road manager and your fucking lead guitarist is fucking shooting up heroin and snorting coke off a hooker's butthole, you don't say that's what he's doing. You say he's at home writing new shit for the new album. You don't just drop what he's doing. You got to keep that inside the team, bro. That's your only fucking job.
It's almost like this is the new Twitter age, social media, where everything just comes out, right? Like, everyone has straight up word vomit, and they just keep blasting this, no matter how bad it is for their team.
But Kev,
right?
Hold on real quick. The opposite of that is Jorge already shit the bed because he doesn't have a fucking filter, and he's like an emotional, like just wears his emotions on his sleeve, right? That fucking idiot.
I don't think he does, though. Not,
what? So,
go ahead, Kev. Not in that way.
When he's mad,
there, he was shitting all over the trolls on Twitter, which was fucking amazing. But he was doing that. Right, here's the problem, right? Jorge decided after he was hella fast at a test that suddenly he would be villain Jorge and shit all over all the trolls.
It was so
as soon as he sucks, dead silent. Dead fucking silent.
God
you know
damn
what I'm
it.
saying? And that ain't balling because one of the first thing Chael Sonnen did when he didn't win the title, you know what I mean? He showed up to the next press conference UFC with a fake belt. And they're like, but you're not the champion. And he goes, who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to double down on the trolling afterwards, but instead he's fully like re-insulates. Like, this guy betrays his confidence so hard. Yes. And yes, there's only one ear stem on these glasses. Fuck haters.
But Kev's nose is looking a lot better.
That was
Kev's nose
though, dude. I didn't even know. Yeah, but that's my point. Is you revealed himself, Rob. If he had not done that, Tardozzi wouldn't have to fucking throw him under the bus. Like,
I mean,
an
and
idiot.
they could have said that Jorge riding Petrucci's GP17 was like in the plan, right? They didn't bring it because it's expensive to ship bikes down there. But no,
But the fact
they kept it on.
Just like MotoGP, Ducati doesn't print their syllabus like beforehand on what we're going to talk about. They just, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They don't show the Facebook Messenger. Like Tardozzi and fucking Petrucci and Jorge don't have like a Facebook Messenger group that they're okay, this is what we're going to do on day 2.
We're going to borrow your shit. Tell them we borrowed your shit and we're helping you out.
Yeah, exactly.
They should. It's a fucking factory team. They totally should.
Snapchat that shit. It disappears forever unless you screenshot.
Exactly. Screenshot. Clack.
Screenshot
that like a Snapchat. To clack. I don't care if she knows I got the titties on my phone.
Why is Ducati the most drama team always? That's what I want to know.
Because they're fucking Italian. They're not Japanese.
Yeah.
It can't be. Is it anything but that?
No, I know. I mean, it was an obvious answer, but I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Like,
all right, just check it. I mean, Aprilia doesn't really have the drama yet because they're not near enough the front.
Nobody cares.
Oh, wait, did you say
no
Aprilia? Hold on.
Hold up. Get that girl.
What's up, dog? There's no Aprilia rider now.
Oh, we almost got ready now?
Their grill works a lot better than Aprilia's motors and stuff. Aprilia keeps having technical problems when they're out on track. It's terrible.
Keeps having technical problems. Sounds like our hour fucking prep for this episode where Rob just forgot how to do everything.
That's not true at all.
That is so true.
Software updates didn't work out.
Luckily, I screenshotted all of our fucking Facebook messengers and put that shit up on our stores.
Kev, I can't reveal it right now, but I'm going to get you a present that alternate Kev will really appreciate and our fans will find enjoyable.
Alternate Kev, and it finds many things enjoyable. Both sides of the field.
Title
offense and defense.
Alternates sex tape. All right, let's move on to Yamaha since we're talking about factories that had some woes this weekend.
Okay, I gotta say something about this factory woes. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, Maverick re-signs with Yamaha. They go to the test and the bike is unpredictable. We don't know what's going on. It's fast and it's not. He has no grip, then it's not. Hold on, Everett just texted me, even though I clearly can't answer the text because I'm recording on my phone. So, which is weird. Like, you know that. You fully know that.
I thought it was iPad. Sorry.
No. So, yeah, he's fully sending me texts right now on the phone right there. Ducky Fresh. And yeah, that's the secret handle on my phone for Ev's dog. And anyways, Maverick re-signs, right? And then what does the Yamaha do? Has a lot of wheel spin in hot conditions. They don't really know why it doesn't go well. They think they have the answer, but every time they switch it, something else sucks. And all I got to think of is like Maverick being upset with Yamaha right now is like everyone upset at Fergie for singing the worst rendition of the national anthem at the NBA All-Star game of all time. Like, bitches, that was Fergalicious. You know what you paid for. She sung a hit song with the Black Eyed Peas that was called Let's Get Retarded. That was the actual song.
And then they censored it. Yeah.
Right. But the real song was Let's Get Retarded. Bitches, it was Fergie, okay? She's talking about her lovely lady lumps. My humps, my humps, my humps. And suddenly y'all are mad. You know who you signed. Okay, you know who you signed to sing the national anthem, and then y'all are surprised when it sucks fucking balls. You didn't sign like Celine Dion to belt that shit out with the fucking God-given pipes that she's got. You fucking got fucking Fergie, and it's the same thing. Maverick signs with Yamaha. The fucking bike that he knows he can go fast on, but then randomly doesn't go fast, and no one really knows why, and we're not really sure, and fuck it, let's just fucking tape some winglets onto it. And suddenly he's upset again, like, bro, you know what you fucking paid for, you know what you got yourself into. Quit crying and get to work.
I have I have like 4 thoughts based on all of those statements. The first one
I have one thought right now, which is my battery is going to die, so I'm going to plug it in momentarily. You talk, Ev. I'm going to plug in my battery. Plug it in.
Shout out to Belkin.
Plug it in. Shout out to Belkin for not hooking me up. Belkin should sponsor us.
Sponsoring you, and you sponsor us.
Right.
First thought, I don't know. Everyone's weird. I had a friend who once said Fergie's face was like an old catcher's mitt, but I think she's kind of hot. 2,
right. Everyone's hot. Everyone's hot under black lights. You know what I'm saying?
2, I'm not judging her national anthem. I still like her OG hits. 3, you provoked a conspiracy theory thought, and it is
What is
that.
it?
Go on.
It is that motherfucker. It's testing, and who is honeypotting who with the testing drama, and that's what we got to keep reminding ourselves of, because there could be some really good testing fake news. Because
Go on.
If you want a honeypot, our development's not going the right direction, and blah blah blah, and I had such a hard time.
So you're saying potentially that Mav is doing the anti-2017, which is instead of dominating testing and looking fucking pimp and trying to put everyone on blast right away, what he's doing is pretending to have... He's pulling a Marc Marquez 2017.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
pretending to have massive problems, only to find out that bada boom, we've got multiple chassis in the pipeline, shit is all dope, and it's going to be the shit.
Or we don't have multiple chassis. Either way, it's entirely plausible that last time he had so much pressure on his shoulders because of how well he performed early on. Now, if he just downplays his efforts and abilities, and Rossi knows this shit. He did this shit for years. He'd get bad test times on purpose. He would literally have a flying lap and then just fucking pull back on the front straight coming into the timing shit. So
yeah, but the difference between Mav now
Damn,
and
that
Rossi
Belkin
then,
adapter works like a motherfucker.
thank
Belkin,
God,
hit me up.
it's the headphones, it's not the adapter. The difference between Rossi then and Maverick now is that Rossi wouldn't come into the pits and be pissed off at the motorcycle and the development direction and blame Rossi and wonder if Zarco was faster and have all these fucking excuses. Like, I understand they're two very different racers, but
yeah, for sure.
And even now, Rossi, yeah, these kids. Even Rossi has issues with the motorcycle.
Fucking kids these days. Fucking millennials. Fucking millennials. Okay.
Didn't someone just create a generation in between millennials and like Generation Y?
These
just
millennials and
Just for
their
us?
hip hop rap music and their computer phones, they don't know how good they have it. In my day, we had to ride the factory Yamaha uphill both directions. It was 2-stroke. We had to mix the oil ourselves. We'd put it was a Dixie cup to a gallon, and that's how we did it.
No, so back to technical details. Rossi has a different problem than Maverick has. Maverick has all of the problems, right? He doesn't know. He sounds like Jorge Lorenzo to me at the moment. He's overloaded. He doesn't know which way to go with the development. He's looking for a different bike, right? It sounded like he wanted to ride Zarco's bike. He even said that Zarco was faster on the same motorcycle, even though Zarco told us he's riding the 2016 chassis. Doing freaking knife hands here for no reason. But they should not be on the same motorcycle. They should not be on the same motorcycle. Maverick seems to be slightly uninformed in that one. Zarco is faster because he's a satellite rider. He doesn't have to test parts. He's not developing anything. And he has all his setup data from last year. Even though it's a new track, he's riding the same freaking bike that he rode last year with a motor upgrade and maybe electronics upgrade. Right.
They slapped that 18 motor in a 2016 chassis and they're like, go boy, do your thing.
I mean, and it might be the 17. It might be the 17 motor, but it's still it's probably better than the 16 motor. I don't know what you two are on about. But Maverick,
what? You never done the thing where you put your hands together like this, both hands, but a boom, and your friend goes like this, but a boom, and that's the.
Oh no, I missed it. That's all. You guys are insane. I lost my train of thought now. I lost my train of thought.
My train of thought is that it's testing, motherfuckers. Why are you getting so bent out of shape on these little whiny bitches?
Because we gotta have fucking something to talk about for an hour here. We got 3 days of motorcycles on track, and this is one of our primary stories. Don't downplay them like Kev did in the first 5 minutes of this episode.
What I'm just saying, like, we already
right.
know what happened. We already know the story. We can print it up. Like, what I want to know is in the All Valley Karate Tournament, Elizabeth Shue clearly says that kicking to the face is illegal, and then Daniel kicks fucking what's-his-name with a crane kick to the face, and he wins.
True.
How does anyone address that plot hole? 30 years deep, no one's answered this, and they're
Cobra
coming out with
Kai.
a new Cobra Kai. No
Isn't a new movie coming out?
TV show, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, TV show. Oh, sorry. A little uninformed there. No, I mean, it's obvious. It's very easy to address the plot hole when you end the film 5 minutes later. That there's no plot hole when you just end the film.
Except number 2 begins right afterwards.
Oh, that's true.
She gets
That's
rid
true.
of him for the fucking quarterback. She goes to prom with someone else. And he's so butthurt. He
True.
goes to fucking Japan. How come his mom wasn't upset that he went to Japan with a random 70-year-old man he met 6 months before? And then while in Japan, he had a fight to the fucking death with some Yakuza-ass Japanese dude on an island. And the only thing everyone did when there was a fight to death about to happen was bounce their little drums back and forth. Bitch, some 17-year-olds were fighting to the death.
Wait.
Japan ain't that gangster, okay?
What were they
Japan
chanting?
Ain't that gangster.
What were they chanting to the drum beat? Was it Mustache
They weren't chanting.
Ride?
They were just doing it like doom doom doom. I can't spin it because I'm
Mustache
hold on. Basically,
Mustache
I'm doing my
Ride.
phone right now. They're going like this. Yeah.
You're making our listeners on YouTube sick.
Mustache Ride. Mustache Ride.
All right, at least
Right.
alternate Kev is back with ruining another millennial or another pre-millennial childhood movie for us.
He
Right.
enhanced that experience. That was not a ruin.
Yeah, that's
People
right.
didn't know. That was good.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
People, that was a good advertisement. They should be paying us money for that shit too, because no one's going
The
back.
weirdest
and watching
part
the
is in
original
Karate Kid Part 3, they want him to defend his title, and because he's the champ, he doesn't have to like fight through the tournament. Except fucking what's his name? Johnny had to fight through the tournament. He was like a 3-time defending champion. There's another fucking plot hole. How come Danielson didn't have to fight through the tournament? He only had to fight one guy. That's not fair. The other guy was going to fight an entire tournament, then fight him on the same night. That's some bullshit.
I can honestly say that when I was like 8 and watched that movie I had to have been younger than that I did not think about these plot holes. But I'm going to have to go back and watch them. I'll find someone that's never seen the movie before.
We must know.
We must know. All right, let's move on to another Yamaha then. Let's talk about Hafizh Syahrin.
Hafizh?
Hafizh.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I like
Hefe?
Hefe. Can we just agree to call him Happy?
No.
Can we just call him Hefe? We call him the boss.
Hefe would be good.
He's a fucking
He
Malaysian boss.
Maybe. We'll ask him when we get him on.
Let's get it right. He's the Malaysian sensation.
Yes,
He's
very much
fucking
so.
El Jefe himself. He fucking Syahrin. What I can tell you is on his first outing on a MotoGP bike, he was faster than a 3-time world champion.
Oh, dirt.
He was faster than half the other rookies. He was faster than the 3-time world champion. He was 1.5 seconds back. I mean, they're one of the new announcers, Simon Crayfar. I don't remember how to say.
Is he the skinny fat one? What's up with that guy that hosts After the Flag that's like has really thin arms, like little noodles, but he's like weirdly fat. Like he looks like he's only like 140 pounds, but he has like 3 chins but no arms. What's going on there?
The younger one, we've had that announcer for like 3 or 4 years now, and he's brilliant as an announcer, so he's doing pretty good. Simon is the older gentleman that used to actually race. He's no alternate Kev. No, that's true. His hair sticks up. I don't know. It's working out.
The reality is cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Fucking cocaine is my jam.
Yeah, wait, why do we wait? No, go back
8 inches of fresh powder, bro.
Go back to
8 inches of fresh powder. 8 inches of pow on my desk.
Go back to Syahrin. Let's go back to talking about how he was 1.75 seconds back. 1.75 seconds. Focus, please.
Hold on. If you need me to focus.
Hold on.
I'm focused as a motherfucker. Go on, Rob.
Good thing this is grainy. We can't see your people.
Everett.
Yes.
Take the point here. Tell me, why was Syahrin so fast on the Tech3 Yamaha?
Well, it's a extremely versatile bike to ride. Anybody can jump on it. It's old technology with lots of data. He's a rider that can push the limits pretty well. I'd assume it's a similar riding style to the Moto2 bike he had before on top of it all.
It's not. It's not. He has electronics now. He's on Michelin tires. He has carbon brakes. It's more similar than the Bridgestone tires.
Well, I just mean that the Tech3 in general is the most balanced bike on the grid at the moment. The Yamaha has the most parity, right?
The old Yamaha.
I'm
Yes.
doing my best to, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's got the old chassis, the old bike. That's why Zarco is fast. He's fast. Oh shit, those are dilated as fuck. How much coke did you do, bro?
All of it. You think I'm wearing these glasses for no
Next time
reason?
you have to have a bowl of flour or something ready to go. What's up, y'all?
Kevin,
Get distracted.
I mean,
Get
Kevin, no,
distracted.
keeps it real.
Come on, Rob. Are all of my reasons right in line with your rationale for that question?
I'm gonna say I have to say yes, but no, I'm gonna say no because we can't be agreeing on this show the entire time.
Damn.
But no,
Well,
I
you
mean
and
I
me
just
never agree. So
yeah, that's
we
a
can't.
very good point. That's a very good point. I mean, honestly, Simon had a good point that the riding styles are too different between Moto2 and MotoGP, and sometimes you just get lucky, right? Like you won't know until the kid actually gets on the motorcycle. Obviously, it was a new track, so he wasn't, he's not like 7 to however long Rossi's been in
When
the
the
championship.
fuck did he say that?
Everybody's even,
When the fuck did that asshole say sometimes you get lucky?
Oh, I don't think he did.
Talking
Oh,
about?
I don't think he did. No,
Sometimes you get
Sunday night at
lucky?
8:32 p.m.
This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Zarco
Rob,
is fucking
you got
on
called the
record
fuck out.
with Guy Coulon as saying part of the reason is the way he sets up his bike is he gets the front dialed in as quick as possible. Because you can always save the rear. You can
You're talking about
always work around.
Zarco.
Hold
You're not
on.
talking about
Shut
Syahrin.
the fuck up. Hold on. What I'm saying is no assholes get lucky on this shit, okay? Syahrin didn't just show up and have fucking like, oh, hey, we rolled the dice and got the right setup right away, and you went pretty quick and you went at a respectable clip. That is not how it happened. That was a solid Tech3 squad that has worked with rookies right off the bat. Don't forget, Tech3 just literally started with 2 rookies. So their whole game plan is built around working with rookies. Second of all, they literally had a Colombian no-name ride that bike earlier to at least get some semblance of dialed in who's just been riding Moto2. So they have some semblance of how to get this thing to, right. He got fired, but what was his job to do? Get a base set up for a Moto2 rider to ride that bike. Because that's exactly who fucking, what's his name, Herb, Booger Pickin' Herb said he would do what he wanted, which was an out-of-contract ride. Digging deep, dog, from the green gold.
Deep, girl.
You know what I'm saying?
Deep, girl.
Right.
Deep.
7 cities of green gold up that fucking giant honking French honker that he's got. But that is not... They didn't just get lucky.
Yeah, but
that is literally that he just didn't know what to say, and he's not nearly as clever or as funny as the BrotoGP guys who don't know what to say.
See, here's what.
Hold on.
So you
have reinforced my point, and you came up with fake news, and I was right.
I'm going to go. I got the rebuttal here. So, Kev, I wasn't actually talking about the setup of the motorcycle. I agree that Tech3 is very good at getting base setups on there, working with rookies. What I was mostly talking about was the fact that Syahrin is a rider that had a riding style already that was adaptable to the Tech3 Yamaha, right? There is no way he learned like everything that Zarco knows from the entirety of last year in 3 days and was able to go reasonably fast on the Tech3 bike, right? He still has plenty to learn, but he has a riding style just like Nakagami, right? Nakagami seems to be better comparatively to the other Moto2 title challengers. He seems to be better than them on the GP bike than he was on the Moto2 bike.
But this is what bugs me. The the fact that skinny fat idiot says sometimes guys get lucky. That's not getting lucky. Right, Rob, you said this yourself multiple times. what were they doing with fucking Pol Espargaro? They were trying to figure out ways to adapt the Yamaha to the Moto2 riding style. Remember, that is like fully on record, and they say that. So what does Tech3 did for the previous 2 years? They were learning to adapt Yamahas to Moto2 styles. Then what did they do? They jumped up 2 rookies to the bike and worked on adapting 2 rookies to the bike with Moto2 styles. This is not luck. This is Syahrin coming into a solid situation that's prepared for his style and ability, who has experience on getting Moto2 riders up to speed, and they get him up to speed quick, and he listens and learns and applies himself.
Well,
there's
I'm
no
glad
luck involved in this.
I'm glad you brought up.
It's my points too. They have the most balanced bike. To Kev's point, the best team to support new riders, and
oh damn, I just spilled hella wine. Hella wine.
Too late. Gotta hold the phone.
Cats.
Gotta hold the phone. No, but so you two guys are still talking about the team, and well, I'm glad you brought up Pol Espargaro. So if Pol came into the Tech3 team today, do you think he would be more successful than his first year? Do you think do you think he'd be more successful than Syahrin was on day one?
Nah, same. Well, yeah. Then Syahrin, because he's just a more experienced rider. But
this was
your success at a Tech3 team. Your success at a Tech3 ride is inversely proportional to the recedingness of your hairline.
We're inverted, bro.
Right. When your hairline gets inverted,
you had to be there, man.
You've got a problem.
I got a pull right home.
Problem.
Fucking Bradley and his receding hairline. I'm mostly talking about the rider. I think that Syahrin just went into the perfect situation for himself as a rider.
Him up like he fucking won testing. He was 21st out of 24 riders, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, whoa.
I'd be happy with that.
I mean, he wasn't last. And my boy Carl was last, so and I know he chose to be last because I know he's faster than that shit. But
yeah, what happened to Carl on the third day? Do you know?
Texted him and gave him shit.
He was too busy fucking with his camera guy. God damn.
Those vlogs are cool, and everyone's copying those now.
Chaz. Wait, you mean everyone is copying vlogs like BrotoGP on YouTube?
Yeah, those motherfuckers.
Well, he's actually got the dude going around doing. He's like his like little like sidekick. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just saying that is the bike to jump on if you're gonna jump on and be new. It's that simple.
Yeah, until they offer you the 2017 chassis.
Me and Ever agreeing completely. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna be a rookie to jump on the bike, the Monster Tech3 team is the best set to do that because that's like literally what they've been doing for years now. That's been their whole plan.
I mean, it's still testing the real. Okay, here's the over/under. The over/under is. I didn't see if he got signed yet, but let's just assume he gets signed.
He did not get signed yet.
Right. So let's assume he gets signed. The over/under is he going to get a top 10, and how fast, and at what point, and is he going to be faster than Zarco? I wouldn't bet fucking 10 cents on that bet, but
no, that's not really his job. His job is to be faster than Zarco. His job is to be serviceable for a year while they figure out what the fuck they're going to do.
No, right. He's a fucking last ditch effort to get somebody to.
And he knows that because Yanni proved once you in, dog, you in. You in for days.
True.
You got to fuck up.
They need those Malaysians and Indonesians. They need that hemisphere to have riders.
And this is something I wanted to touch on. So, and it's not on our syllabus, so I wanted to touch on it real quick. A lot of people are like, oh, man, Laguna Seca's gone. There's no Indonesia. What the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. Here's fucking why. Did any of you shit faces look at the grandstands during this test? I have a picture. The main grandstand is fucking full. Jam-packed. Malaysians as far as the fucking Thai guys, as far as you can see. Probably a good solid 1-to-5 ratio of Thai lady boys. And that's my shit right there. Grand fucking packed to the hilt. for testing, dog. For fucking testing. We keep joking about, we talk about practice. They're partying like it's 1999 on that track for a testing. That thing is popular as shit. Sepang is going to be off the chain if fucking Syahrin is on the grid.
Dude,
I wish I had ridiculous.
I wish I had an Indonesian accent for that, or like, oh, Rossi, or like, oh, what do they say?
We're gonna make a new rule that you can't do accents, Ev. We're getting really close.
What?
We're getting really
Where's
close.
Dennis? Where's Dennis?
Yeah, exactly. We need Dennis for his accents. He's probably got a much. He's from the Philippines. It's close. It's close.
It's close. They all look the same.
Tagalog is pretty awesome. That's
Racism is also on the no-go list.
We just lost 30 listeners.
This is alternate Kev, motherfucker. I don't obey no rules. Quit trying to make me
That's
PC,
true.
Rob.
That's true.
Quit
No, I
trying
mean,
to shove that PC-ness down my throat. Don't
Kev,
do
you're
it.
right. Like, there were more vendors at this test at Sepang than like World Superbike has at Laguna Seca, right? Than Moto America has for the entire season, right? They brought a lot of fans in. It was packed. I'm sure 80% of them showed up just to see Syahrin, and it worked out great. I hope they do sign him.
No,
and he's gonna beat Xavier Simeon all year. He might end up beating Tito Rabat depending on how Tito gets along with the Ducati. He's not going to be last.
No, I mean, here's the thing. You know, we have made these jokes. I'm not even fucking joking right now. Fucking real Kevin is back in the shit. Let me tuck my chains back in real quick. Let me tuck Kevin's fucking alternate Kev's chains in.
Don't tuck the mic in.
The future for MotoGP is in fucking Asia. It really is, and we know this, okay? Totally. We've seen it with with how big Malaysia attendance is. We've seen it with moving in with bike sales. The fact that Repsol Honda just had their fucking reveal in Jakarta. You know, like, this is where the future is. This is where the future is. We've seen the Asia Talent Riders Cup, and the fact that we finally have a Malaysia on the grid is huge. And it's huge because MotoGP racing has stopped being about selling super bikes. No one fucking buys RC51s. No one even buys R6s anymore. It's been the same bike since 2006, right? I mean, literally, no one buys that shit. No one cares. The motorcycle industry in America is dying a slow, like, ridiculous, like, that shit is in hospice right now.
Well, they're stupid.
But they sell Repsol branded 125s hand over motherfucking fist in Indonesia and in Malaysia and in India. That thing is moving quick, okay? And this kind of connects to what we were talking about, or what I was talking about solo, because none of you assholes decided you want to record in India, is that a lot of this is the future, okay? Whether you like it or not, the future of the industry and the future of the motorcycle racing landscape is in Southeast Asia right now, because it's changed from selling bikes like super bikes, like just selling the brand, selling Maverick Vinales or 46. It's selling the team. So you sell your 125 replica with a little bit of body work and a big yellow 46 on it, or you sell your Danny Pedrosa Little Samurai 250 scooter with Repsol on the side, and you sell 100,000 of them. You sell more units, like our friends Nak and fucking Eliza were talking about how they literally in Pakistan sell more of those CR150F street bikes in Pakistan than Harley sells worldwide. Now, it might be little, like, $1,000 motorcycles,
Doesn't
but
matter.
It's fucking Pakistan, bro.
Well,
it's not the most ballinest place there ever was.
Hold up. Let me interject here. Hold up. Let's talk about that. Let's play this out in an alternate universe, because we almost had this happen.
Since it's alternate universe. What's up, bitches? I'm back.
Kev, we almost had this happen back in the high-priced oil days of America, when gas was climbing past $4 a gallon. My shout out goes to Dave Stanton. He ran Suzuki of Oakland, and he started getting Kimco scooters, because everyone was starting to buy scooters to commute. They were buying small bikes to commute. People were getting rid of their cars. The big gas guzzlers were going away. And then we had the explosion of electric cars, hybrids, the whole nine back in 2008. And it all kind of dissipated. But motorcycles and scooters had that opportunity. The alternate universe, going kind of back into that mode, is imagine if we had CRF 150Fs or whatever the fuck as street bikes for $2,000 or whatever they have. The problem is everything's overpriced here. And if you could get those mass marketed and get the volume going, you'd have the resurgence of people on two-wheeled vehicles. I don't care what they are. And anyone who appreciates the skill that it takes to ride a two-wheel vehicle would then appreciate motorsports and MotoGP.
Nah, I mean the sales of small bikes are definitely propping up MotoGP and keeping the sport alive because they have so many fans. But it's never going to happen in Europe, and it's never going to happen in the United States because of the EPA and Euro 4 and Euro 5. Like it's not even possible at the moment. And
I know,
and I just said something political, so I should probably not break my own rules and fucking move on to something else.
No, it's a good point already in the alternate universe that you'd have to get rid of those types of rules. But the reality is, I can't imagine a little motorcycle. The majority of Americans, we're going way on a different tangent, but and I'll wrap it up. But the majority of Americans are in their car by themselves, and you've got to believe that.
Listening to BrotoGP, the majority of Americans are in their cars by themselves, listening to BrotoGP.
I agree, and that's probably true. But the scary part is that those motorcycles, although they're not EPA legal or compliant, probably still produce less than a fucking car. I don't care what car.
Actually, I think per mile, sport bikes are like they pollute more than a Honda Civic.
But what we're talking about is not sport bikes. Right? Because no one buys sport bikes. No one buys that
Rob
shit.
buys sport bikes because he blows up motors.
Rob bought a used sport bike off Craigslist, and it was older than the bike he had.
It's true. It's true.
This is true.
And the motor was older than I thought it was, and then it blew up.
The motor was older than he thought he was. So Rob decided he'd go hit a track day with pneumonia with a motor from '87. It's like a Gixxer 750 motor deboard to a 600, one cylinder's dead, not working, jammed in the R6. 7-Eleven status, and he's got his fucking Slurpee in one hand and his weirdly $4.99 large pizza that now serve at 7-Eleven in the other. And his motor fucking.
What do you mean? How am I alive? No, the motor blew, but it didn't oil the track.
Time bomb while having pneumonia.
This is
irresponsible, Rob. Where is Luca
slowly
right now?
Have you
and Luca broken up? Have you and Luca separated? Are you on the outs?
Find her now.
Actually, I gave her pneumonia too, so she's on the couch.
Luca!
It's bad. It's bad. I feel really bad.
Like a clap or something. Jesus, dude.
She hasn't even gone to the doctor yet.
Let me explain to you something, Ev. The clap you can get rid of way easier than pneumonia.
That's what I'm saying.
Ask me how I know.
All right, guys. We're moving off.
Let me ask you what would be worse. Let me ask you what would be worse. If every time you laughed, you coughed incessantly and wanted to die, or your pee burned a little bit. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
No, I think
burns a little.
I can deal with the cough. There are drugs to deal with the cough.
Here's the thing.
I don't know about pee and burning.
When you pee and it burns, it sucks. But when you nut, it doesn't burn. It's too fast.
Real
it's
talk,
over.
bro.
Time to register the burning
Real
sensation.
Wow.
Real talk.
Wow. With alternate Kev.
Wow. All right, we're moving on. Oh, Ever just closed himself out. Oops. Holy shit. Kev, you're still here.
Alive.
We're still good.
Hell yeah. Alternate Kev is here, and he's talking about chlamyds. That's how he does. He doesn't give a fuck.
All right, I think I'm gonna move Everett out of this one because he screwed this up somehow. Oh,
his battery must have died or something.
He's back.
He's back.
No, he's on the laptop. He can't. Yeah, but his audio doesn't work. He's got to fix it. No, we can't hear you, Ev. All right, we're moving on. We're just rolling with it. Thank God this wasn't live. All right, next topic, Kev. This one is straight for you. We got to talk about HRC for at least a little bit.
There's nothing straight about alternate Kev, Rob. You need to get that straight right now. Alternate Kev doesn't adhere to your binary roles with gender and where you can or can't put things. Okay, if there's a hole, there's a will, and where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's a way,
slow your roll.
to venereals.
Slow your roll. So pull a Marquez and Alex Marquez at Valencia and talk to me about HRC.
Man,
At the test.
You know what bums me out?
Yeah.
Is that like all the Honda riders are like, yeah, the Honda's pretty good. Your ride's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know, tires felt good. Engine felt good. It's like Tiger Woods describing how his golf game went, right? Like swing feels good. Course feels good. I like my chances. It's like Maverick had nothing to complain about. Danny Pedrosa was fastest. Cal was
Marquez.
Pretty fast on one day. I think one stat I read of the 6 testing days they've had in the offseason, a Honda has been fastest on 4 of them. That's a fucked up sign for our entertainment value for 2018. Yep, look at that. I fucking knew stats better than Rob. He's counting on his
paying
fingers
attention.
Like he's fucking
He's paying
4.
attention. We can hear you again, Everett. You're good.
Carry the 1.
While Everett's talking, I'm going to attempt, now that I've charged my phone, to move it back to my station.
All I'm thinking right now is that my prediction and prophecy will be HRC winning again, and my chances are just that much better.
God, you're so boring, Everett. God damn it. Say something.
I am an HRC fanboy. And Kev, on that note, I did have an RC51, motherfucker. And it had...
No fucking way, really?
It was the sickest Castrol Honda replica you ever saw.
Was it the SP1 or the SP2?
RC51s had like the most street cred.
It was an SP1 before the SP2 came out, but you know, it's cool.
So they had so much street cred that people still want to buy them, even though they're 500 pounds. They make 100.
I would buy one right now.
They make the same amount of horsepower in stock form as like a super stock R6.
They had those side radiators, even though for the actual race bike, they put the radiator back in front. Like they have side radiators for no reason.
Yeah. Real talk, though, it is the most balanced, well-handling bike of its weight that I've ever ridden in my life.
Except for the new Energica Ego electric bike that GP is going to have.
Yeah.
That bike's way heavier. Way heavier.
Oh, is it? I'm
like,
saying.
Yes, it's like 530 pounds or something in stock form, so it'll probably be high 400s.
Honda had that thing. I don't know how they just got lucky with the balance or something. I mean, the way that thing delivered torque and power with the balance, you just I will tell you, you had to commit to a line and you could not deviate once you committed to it, but it was pretty fucking dope.
So no transitions.
Speaking of committing to lines.
No, but it was a dope bike.
We did the Riders Law. We did the Riders Law plug. We did the Riders Law plug at the end.
I don't think we ever actually did the Riders Law.
There's a big fucking poster.
I don't think
it's good
that
enough.
ever happened.
We talk about like accident injury lawyers at law and Riders Law and Psy and call them if you crash.
Hey, here's the thing: if a fucking coked up meth head hits broadsides you at a left turn, and you don't know what happened, and you're in the fucking hospital, call Psy at Riders Law with riderslaw.com.
If you are a coked up meth head riding a motorcycle and crash your bike, call Riders Law.
I don't know about that one.
And play the Chronic front to back, nonstop, uncensored version. Psy loves that shit.
Just because you're lit up on drugs doesn't mean you're at fault. Okay, Rob? Don't
take drugs every day.
Don't judge people. Don't judge them.
I'm having a hard time keeping this one together, guys. You guys are making it difficult. All right, so I think we're done with HRC. 4 out of 6 days. We're done with it. They introduced new winglets.
Look at Rob.
No one ran
Rob
it.
Trying to rein us in. Like we're fucking hurting. Like he's trying to hurt us, but we're fucking cats, dog.
Trying to hurt cats.
Along,
hurting my cats. Hurting my 2 cats is way the fuck easier than hurting you 2 guys. It's
Before this episode, Rob was like, "Let's do a quick one. We're gonna
testing,
have it
bro. You got to wild now.
Dirty, super fast. I'm trying to while out, dog.
It's actually we're still pretty good on time.
All you want to know what? In the syllabus, it says strongest, comma, really, question mark. And I don't know what the fuck that means.
All right. That essentially means
you had to think about it.
Do we believe testing performance? Do we believe that Cal was fastest on day 1 at the Chang circuit? Do we believe Danny Pedrosa actually figuring something out?
Look, all right, let me hit that one real quick, and then Kevin can go. I believe Cal was riding as fast as he possibly could.
Quick, and then Kevin can go tied on my sex tape.
but dude, trying to win testing is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no dude who it almost should be whoever's the fastest 5 people in testing should almost be like reprimanded by their leadership.
Yeah, it's like, bitch, why are you trying so hard?
Yes, it's testing. Be last. Do 100 laps. Be last. Give me.
Well, we know that the satellite riders are just trying to be fast in testing. They have pretty much nothing else to do.
They want fanfare.
They need fanfare. They already have base setups from the factory teams because they're running last year's bike. They need to adapt some things to their riding style and get their setup dialed, but it doesn't in any way compare to the stuff that the factory teams need to take care of, which is why we see more satellite riders further up the grid in testing every single year.
Yeah.
So we don't. Okay, so we agree then we don't put anything into the satellite Honda riders, i.e. only Cal. But what about Pedrosa and Marquez?
The testing performance gives you like a general overview. Let's not act like testing doesn't show anything. Maverick was fastest in testing all half season last year, and he went on to win 3 of the first 5 races. It wasn't like that wasn't indicative of early season results. But like Everett will say, testing only means so much, but HRC will figure it out. Like Everett, always kind of says. It's not really indicative of the whole season. It's going to give us a good view of where the guys are starting and how good they're going to do. We'll probably see some satellite some satellite Ducatis look decent up front. Ducatis tend to look pretty good traditionally in the first few races before they get to Europe.
Yeah,
you got decent baseline setting. The first round flyaways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We do get a little closer and you'll start seeing some real. They get competitive, right? Right now, nobody fucking cares.
It's practice.
Yeah, it's truly practice. I mean, it's literally these guys are fucking on holiday, rolling through like, fuck, I'm excited to ride a motorbike. I'm going to go cruise around, but I don't want to crash and hurt myself. I don't want my team to be pissed at me and make a lot of work. I want to give good feedback. And if I'm
don't want to blow a motor.
If I'm a real crybaby, I'm going to throw a fit about fucking stuff like Vinales and Lorenzo did. But I mean, the rest of it's like, newbies, whatever, new track. Like, it's a new fucking track on top of all of it. Like, who fucking cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Right, who cares?
So everyone, we're telling you just don't bother everything we've said about the Chang circuit. Don't bother. Don't listen to us.
I'm not saying all of that. I'm just saying it's testing in the fucking worst possible time to actually care, and at a new test. And I don't know, man. We're
gonna care for the Qatar test though, because it is the first round of the season, and it will mean something. If they'll find their baselines at that test, they won't need to make them for during FP1, FP2. We'll care then.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Right, I mean, the Qatar test, I think, will show us more realistic of where we're actually at. Because right now, like, they all showed up in fucking Thailand. I'll tell you right now, a bunch of swinging dick bachelors showed up in Thailand, motherfucking rock stars. The last thing anyone was thinking was how fast they were going to be on 2 wheels. I'm telling you right now, if you stole the whole grid shows up on a plane and you took all their phones and you look at their browser history, Donkey good. Show is on 65%.
It's lady boys. It's lady boys and prostitution parlors.
Fucking
okay,
lady, right?
First I'm telling you,
man, you've traveled a lot of the world, right? You and my man Bossum have been around the world. Yeah. I personally have traveled a decent amount of places in my life. Yeah. Where's the hottest chicks in the world? Israel, up there, but I don't know about hottest. Italy, pretty close. The hottest chicks are Thai dudes. I'm telling you that right now. That's the hottest chicks in the world are Thai dudes.
That's why you abstain from anything because you might get in a trap.
Haven't y'all seen The Hangover 2? You came inside me.
Oh, dude, it's bad news, man. It's all I'm saying is that team. So your boys on your team and your mechanics and everybody are like, oh shit, we're going to Thailand. We're gonna do some funky, freaky shit. Don't crash your bike because I can't be there fixing that shit overnight. I gotta go.
Right. So when the announcers
I gotta go
to
a donkey show. Don't you know?
When the
That's the
announcers
safe
were
bet,
saying
yeah.
that everyone was taking off early on the third day to go catch a flight, they were actually just going into Bangkok, is what it was.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
did you
All
just really? That was.
No, I
not-
summarized. I summarized. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on.
No,
to...
we're not moving on because Rob,
Cock.
you wanted to have an episode in which we discuss testing in Thailand.
And
What did you
randomness.
think that me and Everett were going to discuss when you talked about testing?
I've never
What they
met
were
you
doing
before,
was
alternate
testing
Kevin.
their
High
sexual
tea,
boundaries. Testing their
Baloo.
sexual boundaries.
I don't think that comes up in the listener questions. Maybe it does.
You think that I said the hottest chicks in the world are Thai dudes, and I'm joking. I'm serious as a heart attack.
I believe you. I believe you.
I can tell.
All right, no. Moving on. First one. Josh Walby wants to know about carbon fiber swing arms.
What? We went there?
Yeah, we were going there.
Why are you trying to? Okay. He's trying to repress our sexuality.
We're reining this in. We're reining
Carbon
this in.
fiber swing arms seems stupid to me, but what do I know?
Yeah,
Here's what I want.
We know you don't know anything. So tell us, what don't you know?
Okay, so shanty-ass Irishman Simon Patterson posts a picture of the swing arm on Twitter, and he's like, I love to see MotoGP with their innovation. And I'm like, bitch, literally 10 years ago, Casey Stoner had a carbon fiber swing arm he was winning races on. It ain't innovative as fuck. No one's pushing the boundaries. That shit is older than hell.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Hayden, God rest his soul, rode a carbon fiber swing arm on the Ducati in like 2009. Stop already with it.
I think the whole entire paddock is more accepting of it now because the carbon fiber forks actually worked. Like we know Marquez ran them for 3/4 of the season. Rossi ran them for even longer. I think Dovey was on them. I'm not sure right now. But the Öhlins carbon fiber forks work. They build a swing arm. They run carbon fiber. It makes the bikes look cool. It doesn't make that big of a difference. I like a nice fucking custom TIG welded swing arm just as much as a carbon one. So it's just looks. It might be higher performing. We don't know. They might not even race it. We're gonna find out.
Rob, this is up your alley. I'd love to know from somebody. We should find somebody to interview. Is the way the metal, whether I don't care what type of metal it is, metal swing arms versus carbon fiber, the flex that they create and the way that they respond to creating that mechanical grip, right? We always talk about, you and I go back and forth on the trellis frames versus twin spar versus whatever. And then there was a point where they were doing the carbon fiber frames, right? Am I crazy all of a sudden?
No, Ducati had it was carbon fiber monocoque, so it was completely different than the twin spar.
But they also did have a full carbon swing arm.
Down the middle, right?
Ducati did have a carbon swing arm. I remember this.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same bike that ran the carbon monocoque as well. They might have had the carbon fiber swing arm before they did the carbon monocoque.
I can tell it, Kev.
But it's a great word. It's a great word.
But it was carbon fiber, and then the whole hypothesis was that the carbon fiber was made just so stiff that the chassis couldn't flex to give you that little bit of flex to let the tires have that little bit of like 2 or 3 or 4 millimeters of bend to keep the grip down. And so they were so rigid and stiff. And so that's what's really interesting. They keep fucking around with carbon fiber, and it's like, you idiots keep doing this, and you can't figure it out. Yet it looks amazing and crazy to make, but
but
why?
so
well, I think the main question they had with the carbon fiber was reliable stiffness. Like if you stamp out the aluminum, you do a nice professional TIG weld job, super clean bead all the way around. You got within a few % of the stiffness that you're expecting. Yeah. But with the carbon fiber, that's the problem, is the weave can really throw things off.
Layers.
And how good is HRC at replicating, the ratio of the stiffness to the flex that they're expecting?
They're probably better than Ducati because all they need to do is call up Honda Formula One and ask them like, hey, can you make us a carbon fiber swing arm? Right? Like the whole stiffness argument is complete bullshit. If you want carbon fiber to be more flexible, use less of it. It's just like metal. Right? And the nice thing about carbon fiber, it flexes significantly further than metal does before it breaks. But yeah, it's
a failure when you start doing that though versus the metal.
No, actually the opposite. The opposite strength.
Okay, it's still bad. All right, well, this is
there's one thing. If there's one thing, If there's one thing Rob knows, it's about things and stiffness ratios. What makes things stiff? What's a little less stiff? Who's more stiff? He knows about mama cocks.
You got to get that weave right in the black monocoque swing arm.
The black mama cocks.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Luca just bought a brand new carbon fiber bike frame the other day. And,
was it a monocoque?
No, that would not
right,
be a
the
monocoque.
BBC, the big black carbon. I'm just saying. If you Google BBC fans right now, Google video.
Not at work.
BBC big black carbon specifically at your work.
Google that for you.
Not at work.
Let me
BBC.
The BBC. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's see odds of
Google
Rins.
Spanish rider handles BBC and let me know what you find.
All right, Mark wants to know odds of Rins finishing ahead of Iannone in the standings this year.
Iannone clearly got syphilis in Thailand, so I don't expect the first few races to do well.
Ahead of the test.
Right.
Penicillin makes you faster. He's going to get busted for doping. Come on, man.
Oh, you're going to make me have a coughing attack. This is bad. No, I mean, this goes back to our excuse me. This goes back to our conversation about putting any stock into testing.
Kevin pulled up Danny Pedrosa. Spanish rider handles BBCs. Danny Pedrosa.
Right. You type in Danny, Spanish rider handles BBC, and you go ahead and send Rob on his Facebook. In fact, Rob, post it to his wall. What you find. Feel free to post more than one image. Screen capture that right on Rob's wall. Oh, damn, Everett left again.
Oh, God, why does he keep doing that? Whatever. All right.
Why does he keep doing that? Title of Rob's sex tape. Okay, something more like listener questions.
More listener questions. I'm getting Everett out of here. No, you didn't actually answer. Rins, odds of Rins finishing ahead of Iannone.
Here's the thing. We talked about this before in Real Talk for a second. Way back in the day when like the new crew was coming, Rins, Lowe's, and Zarco. And I thought that Rins was the most naturally talented of the bunch. He was the one that had the most to offer in terms of outright speed. He got hurt. He didn't look so good. He had like 6 or 7 extra moles grow on his face. It was a little weird.
They seem gone now, by the way. They're totally gone.
Yeah, that shit was lasered right off. But Rins is a talent. Rins won a shitload of races in Moto 3. He battled Iannone and Louis Salam, rest his soul, for the title. He was able to do very well in Moto 2 quickly, which is a good sign. Is he better than Iannone? I don't know. But Iannone I really feel like Suzuki is over Iannone. And I think Iannone might be over Suzuki. Right. Yeah. I mean, like we said, Schwantz is outwardly talking kind of shit, throwing shade at him. That's not a good look for setting things up. And despite his weirdly like Eminem 2002 bleached blonde, like hydrogen peroxide hair, I think Rins might actually have more support from the factory and more faith. I mean, Pernat just dropped Iannone as his manager. I mean, I don't know if you read that, but
because he was too crazy. What did he say? What were the words that he used? Did you see it?
He wasn't there to be part of the gossip column. And I'm like, bitch, Pernat, that's the only reason anyone knows what you are, because of your gossip column fucking interviews on GP1.
Yep.
And
that's true.
If Iannone was too gossipy for that dude, shit's wild.
All right, I'm trying to find another question here. I think that what? You're back, Everett. Yeah, you got to have drama. That's true.
Sometimes I type something in a different browser and my shit crashes. But anyway,
you're just breaking the freaking software. Stop doing that.
Stop doing
that. All right, Bassam wants to know: does KTM have a sophomore slump? I mean, in my book, they do.
Yeah,
I mean, they still have
because it's diminishing returns. Pole and Bradley only get you so far.
Oh, I thought we were talking about
you have right. I mean, Pole and Bradley only get you so far, and meanwhile, you've got Jack Miller on a better bike, but you also have Zarco only doing better. You also have Morbidelli and the Mark VDS team getting the 2017 bikes, which were clearly easier to set up and a little easier to do by the end of the year. And I think Luthi and Morbidelli are a better team overall than Rabat and Miller. I think the KTM is going to have a bit of a sophomore slump. I think Bassem's right on. And
well, you also have the Suzuki's having concessions. We talked about how Rins is healthy.
Good point. Very good point.
Yonone might phone it in if he's kind of ousted at Suzuki, but there's still another solid Suzuki rider there to take him. So it's probably like we've said this every single offseason for the past 4 years. The top 10 is more competitive again. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That KTM is now looking to the future. They're looking at Everett's man Binder is looking solid as fuck. He's fast, right? Respect. He's fast. He's looking good. He's healthy. You see Oliveira. I think KTM is looking towards the Moto2 championship. They're looking towards expanding that team, and they're looking towards how can we get those riders into MotoGP as our future. And one's got to wonder, when they decided not to sack Bradley in exchange for Kallio and keep going, that was simply a sign. Right, you laugh, but that was a sign that we respect contracts, and if you're a good rider and you sign with us, we're going to see it through. I think that was Aprilia's mistake by getting rid of Lowe's early. What they showed is if you don't do well right off the bat, we don't give a fuck. And that's not good for long-term health to sign a top rider, because a top rider might know we got to struggle a little bit. Like, Aprilia would have sacked Lorenzo, but maybe Lorenzo does good this season after a solid year, right?
Well, no, he was too big of a name, but I mean, you're still right, because that is setting a precedent, and the difference is they're not a top tier team. You can't just fucking just kick people to the curb because you're Aprilia. You're fucking Aprilia. That's the problem.
Right. So for KTM to get a higher end rider, they have to prove, with proof in the pudding, that if you have a bad start, we're behind you and we're going to see it through because we're committing to you.
They must.
And so they're basically throwing in the towel with Bradley in the hopes of getting a good rider to sign in 2019.
I don't think they're throwing in the towel. Two things. One, I think they are Austrian and they're probably a little bit more methodical, and they didn't expect much, and they had a plan. They had a 5-year plan probably, and then they'll create another 5-year plan. Like,
you tell me the Eastern Europeans had a 5-year plan? I don't believe you.
Dude, they're pretty disciplined and methodical. So maybe a 10-year plan, actually, and maybe it's going exactly to plan. Because
I mean, they have Danny Pedrosa's old crew chief, so he knows what the fuck is going on with putting together a race team.
Yeah, they had low expectations, and they don't expect in their second year that much is going to happen. So they're going to stick with their guys. That's okay. Where they're really betting, and we've talked about this in the past, is they're betting on Binder to come up and Oliveira to come up. And those are the guys they're betting on. And that's why they got them early into their team.
Absolutely.
And these guys are test riders for 3 years. They don't even give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that they'll have a slump in the championship standings just because we talked about the top 10 being more competitive. But they may not have a slump with their distance to the winner of races, right? That was one thing that Ducati focused on annually, right? Like they were finishing 25 seconds back of the race winner, and then they move up to 15 seconds and they get to 10. And now they're, Dovi was 5 seconds back almost every single race or winning, right? You got to make that progression, and KTM might still do that. Diminishing returns is going to hurt them, especially with the same lackluster riders, but they may progress further forward.
Here's a good example, point in case kind of thing. If I told you could be last place 3 years in a row and then win the world championship in year 4, would you do it? You'd fucking do it in a heartbeat.
You would. You'd take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. It'd be rough, but yeah, you definitely take that.
That's exactly what Ducati did in 2004 and 5. Was throw in the towel on Michelin, say we're going with Bridgestones because we know we can't beat Michelin with Rossi because of the one-off tires, so we're committing to Bridgestone for a 3, 4, 5-year plan. That's literally what they did. In 2004, they won 0 races. And what did they do in 2007? They won the title.
Yep.
And that's the whole thing, right? This is all strategy. This is all strategic.
Strategery. Motherfucking strategery, dog.
The real intelligent teams will be thinking beyond the here and now, given where certain teams are and the rule changes that have been coming. Go!
Dude, if he
Oh,
gets it all in there,
Dude,
he didn't
like
even spill.
That's like the boot, dude. He didn't even finish it. There's more in there. It's like the boot.
How do you get it out of the all out of the
No,
craft?
he's got to go the other side. He's got to go the other side. You got to go the
That's
short
what
side.
I do.
Yeah, that would
anyway.
the short side. It would end up all over his face.
Oh, dude, it's like the boot. It's
Yeah, boy.
Title is Kev's sex tape.
Title Rob sex tape.
I said it first. I said it first. All right, no, we're done with KTM. I got one last question here. No, you're good. You made your point.
We had 34 motherfucking comments on our Instagram alone within like 45 minutes.
Fine. I'm not even on our Instagram.
The people want more.
I'm going to our Instagram.
Okay, my man CBR 600RR up on one wheel posted like 9 questions. Yeah. Hit him up.
Did he? All right. No, that's not a question. Did I say Steve Day is annoying? Steve Day is the guy with noodle arms. Yeah, that's his name.
Right.
You say Nudo?
At this point, no, I can't. I can't ask that question.
Do it. Don't be a bitch, Rob.
All right.
Do it. Don't be a bitch.
At this point, who has a higher IQ, Redding or Donald Trump?
That's pretty obvious.
That's bad. That's bad. That's a lot of politics. It's a lot of politicking.
That's a lot of politicking. Let's see who has a higher IQ, Redding or Donald Trump.
You get 30 seconds to answer, each of you.
I have no fucking idea. I mean, you go first, Ev. Let me collect my thoughts.
I mean, DT is a
DT's a stone cold pimp. He was fucking a Playboy model on the side of a porn star on the side of his supermodel.
So DT
his side piece to his side piece was a Playboy model.
Yeah, DT is a dumb motherfucker when it comes to impulsive things like Twitter and outward appearance, but he's a cerebral motherfucker and a marketing genius. I can't say any of the above for Scott Redding. I'm sorry.
Right, you just when you say Scott Redding, you just think he's a dumb motherfucker.
He's unfortunate. He's a UK version of a redneck. I mean, it's just he's not even a classy redneck. He's
no chance of interviewing him ever. It's gone.
No, well, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I mean,
bro,
I would love
after
to have
episode 83, we don't have a chance of interviewing
Hold
anyone.
on, Rob. Hold on. Wait a second. Rob, here's the test for us now. Who would you rather have a beer with, Scott Redding or Donald Trump? Donald Trump doesn't drink, but if he did, who would you rather have a beer with?
A beer? God, I thought you were going to say who would you rather have on BrotoGP. I'd probably rather have a beer with Scott Redding.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's my point. No, that's true. So just because I mean, that's not to say Scott Redding's a way cooler motherfucker. So that's a whole different question. But Donald Trump's a nefarious motherfucker, dude. That's all you need to know.
All right, Kev, you get 5 seconds.
Who's the fucking guy? I gotta agree with Ev. In the end, one is a dumb motherfucker, and then one is, but he's a dumb motherfucker. So I don't really have an answer to that question.
I ain't mad at him.
It's tomato. One's a dumb motherfucker, and the other one is, but he's a dumb motherfucker. That's my
awesome
answer. You decide. Alternate Kev is not gonna show you which side of the aisle he's on right now.
All right, do we another question on Instagram from Guido7426. Do we have any comments on Mark and Danny's dance-off in Indonesia?
What the fuck was going on in that video? I hit my man Remy up this morning at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm like, bro, what is happening? The best part is that like Marquez just goes too far, right? Marquez like Ev's married and Rob's been with his girl for like 1,000 years, right?
Just
so
about.
They're basically married, right?
Practically.
So you have that one friend who goes nuts when you go out because he's been with his wife where everybody fucking hates her, and he goes nuts. That was fucking Maverick, Marquez in that. And Danny Pedrosa at one point is laughing. Okay, bro, this ain't funny. What the fuck is going on with you at home? Why are you letting loose this far? Fucking Marquez is like doing Russian jumps on his legs back and forth. I don't know what's happening. All I know is I didn't think that the Yamaha guitar playing, keytar playing video could be topped at all this year, let alone in the same calendar month.
Oh man, that did happen. I hated
It's
the
like
guitar playing
Marcus,
video,
like,
and then we
rubbing
kept
his tummy,
going.
like, woo!
Ugh.
What is
bad.
happening in that video?
That's I
Marcus
don't even
was
know.
lit. He drank that real Red Bull.
All right,
for reals.
last question. Last
Yes,
question right here.
There's good ones
This
on
one,
Facebook too.
I think Ev is gonna like this one.
Sprinkle it.
Is Vinales a little bitch, or does Rossi just bring it out in people?
The latter, for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
was that like a trick question?
We're just
Like,
fucking agreeing now? God damn it.
Dude, Rossi.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
I mean, I'm the biggest Rossi hater out there, but the reality is he's the most brilliant guy, and I have to respect that. I mean, he's the best at the mind games. That's why he's 14th in the testing. He doesn't fucking care about testing. He's there to bank chicks, fucking drink some beers. He probably smokes some weed, even though it's probably illegal. And he's gonna fuck with. He's probably the sole reason that Vinales still didn't do well last year.
I mean, you got a point, because Rossi, when he was talking about bad things about the Yamaha, it was exactly what Vinales was not talking about, right?
It was the opposite.
It was exactly the opposite.
All the electronics are no good.
He was saying that shit on purpose.
He's the biggest troll on this planet, and I love him for that. And I'm a hater for him because he's so good at it, and it just makes it kind of shitty for us. But
I don't know if it makes it shitty for us, to be honest.
Yes,
it make it shitty
lately.
for you as a Rossi hater.
Not lately. In the from 2000 and what, Kev? 2001 through 2000 or maybe it was 2000 to 2007 or 6. It was fucking.
What are you trying to say?
Time.
He didn't really become the troll until 2002 when he had the fucking Honda 4-stroke. It was so much better than everyone else. He was like in 2000 and in 2001 he was on the 500 cc's and he was trying hard, and Jerry Burgess admitted that maybe they tried to ease him into it a little too quick and cost him a title in his rookie year, which I thought was kind of a man thing to point out, that he said like, hey, I fucked up. But it wasn't until the 4-stroke era that he became kind of that troll with performance. But I mean, yeah, is Vinales a little bitch? His history does show that he can be a little bitchy at times in 125. Excuse me, in Moto3. Right, he's a Spanish MotoGP rider, so he can be a little. He's a millennial, single-eyebrowed moto. I mean, here's the thing: is he a little bitch? Scott Redding stole his girl and his dog.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what to say to that.
That's true. That's true.
Scott Redding stole his dog. Can you imagine that dude stealing your dog? Fuck a bit. First of all, my grandpa used to say women are like buses. If you miss one, don't worry, one comes along in 5 minutes. So who gives a fuck, right? Stealing your dog, bro. That is fucked up. And then he steals your dog, and the first thing he does is get your dog a fucking sheep friend. That is some bullshit. Like,
a lamb.
That's gotta fucking keep him up at night. He's part of the farm now. He steals your dog's Instagram login, and your dog's Instagram login is commenting on your ex-girlfriend's fucking posts where she's cleaning up the shit in the bathroom. Like, fuck.
He's got such a hot, cute Spanish girlfriend and a new puppy, and he should be so happy.
Bitch, he's rebounded like a motherfucker.
No, that's why he's a bitch.
Trampolining all over the place.
Dude, you got a girlfriend who's a fucking cliche, little cute Spanish girl. Great.
So what you're saying?
Also used to say, you know what my gramps also used to say was, show me a hot chick, and I'll show you a guy who's sick of her shit.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get a feisty fucking model chick. He didn't get a feisty fucking dirt bike rider.
My grandpa was an Italian pimp.
He didn't get a feisty chick that would fucking push him to his limits. He got some chick that would pander to his pussy out, like whatever you want to call it, bitch out shit. And,
right.
And a little puppy and
So I feel like what both of you were saying is that Mav is only being a little bitch because Project Catfish has not yet been successful.
Veronica has not shown herself. She has not sent the text images that she could send.
All right. On that note, I think we're calling this one. No, we're calling
so many more questions, Rob.
No, that's it.
Does look like a pretty hot chick in a wig, and he's going to be at Austin.
Couple more, Rob.
Veronica.
There's too many. We're rounding this one out. It's been almost 2 hours.
We're not done until you ask the question you ask. You have to ask that question.
What question?
The one you said you wouldn't do. It's too much. Go.
No, that was the Trump one. We already did it. All right, everyone.
The real question that was asked was episode 83 was a top 3 of all time episodes. Will Rob let alternate Kevin ever do that again? Rob, you heard the episode.
I did not hear it in its entirety because if you read the other comment on Facebook, I essentially could not watch it because laughing and pneumonia do not mix.
Right.
Yeah. So can alternate Kev reappear? Probably. Will he maybe be relegated to YouTube only and shorter videos? Maybe. Probably there too,
Rob,
actually.
It was only pneumonia. You're acting like you almost died.
Right. Pneumonia never killed anyone, Rob. Stop already. Pneumonia never killed anyone, regardless of age, regardless of advanced age or maybe low age. Pneumonia never once killed a human being. Stop acting like it was this big deal.
It only laid me up for like 3 weeks. I was still able to ride my motorcycle for 10 laps. And
then you fucking blew your load.
And then it blew it up. Yeah, melted. Do you see the Instagram pictures? Melted 2 pistons. That was great.
That's cool.
Yeah, not so much. It just added more expense to the preseason bill, which is terrible for Moto America.
All
right, everyone.
Did you pay your rods?
Oh no, the whole motor went in the bin. The whole
right. Let me do this for you, Rob. All right, everyone. That's episode 84. We're talking some testing. We talked the Thai round. We talked lady boys. We talked snorting coke. We fucking talked smoking weed. We talked drinking beer. That's Rob. That's Everett. This is alternate Kev. Fuck all y'all. Choke on some dicks. Peace!